Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
We are waiting for students to join. So
Okay.
by 5:15 we will start our session. So by then the student can join.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Vani ma'am, we can start now, right? Like it's already a 5:15.
Yes, ma'am. We can.
Yes,
We can do
sure.
it.
Okay. So a very good evening to everyone. I hope all are doing fine. And in this session today, along with me, myself, Payal Sharma, who is a project coordinator with Experifund, along with me, I'm having Vani Devranjan as a project coordinator with Hope Foundation, and Ms. Shalini, who is a session volunteer as well as a data analyst tutor with the Hope Foundation. We are welcoming our today's speaker, Ms. Nazia Praveen, who going to talk about the life skill. Nazia Praveen, she has graduated in information technology and postgraduated in education field. She has been working in educational domain from last 7 years in different roles and responsibilities. Currently, she is working with Dream a Dream organization as a life skill content developer. She has trained more than 100 teachers extensively in life skill academics. And we are glad that once again we are having her to talk about the life skill, a skill that is very much necessary or very much needed in our life to deal effectively with all the demands and challenges that we are facing. And I'm sure we will be having a wonderful session today. So over to you, ma'am. You can carry on with your session.
Thank you so much, Payal, and thank you so much, everyone, for inviting me for this opportunity to connect with the students to talk about the life skills education. So, good evening, everyone. So, as Payal introduced me. I'm Nazia, and I'm like currently working as a consultant for life skill education with young adults, developing content for teachers and administration. Quickly, I just share my screen.
Sure.
Please let me know when the screen is visible.
Yet it is not visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it visible now?
Yes, yes.
Thanks a lot. Once again, hello and good evening, everyone. So today we are, as discussed, we are going to talk about life skills education, and the idea of the session and the objective of the session is to understand the basic life skills, which are 10 key life skills introduced by WHO. So before beginning the session, I would like to invite you all to respond on questions like which have been shown in the screen meanwhile the session. So first of all, I would like to ask, have you heard about life skills before? And I would also like Shalini to please respond on the like to pose the questions. Yeah, okay, I can see the screen. Very nice. I think maximum of the audience is aware of the life skills. Okay. So glad to know then that many of us are actually aware of the session. So quickly, we'll just go through the agenda or objective of the session. The session is about understanding 10 key life skills to have basic understanding about the life skills. To understand the impact of the life skills in our personal and professional lives, and to I just want you all to bring into the understanding of self awareness. So the life skills are group of psychosocial abilities or competencies which allows us to understand about ourselves, our abilities, and to understand the demands of and challenges of the life. So life skills are abilities for adaptive and positive behavior. So these key skills are associated to our psychology. These skills are introduced by UNICEF, WHO, and there are 10 key life skills which allows us to fulfill the need and demand of the day-to-day life. So simply we can understand life skills by understanding that life skills are set of abilities or skills or socio-emotional abilities that enable an individual to lead a healthy and peaceful and productive life and promote mental socio-emotional well-being. So there are 10 key life skills as I discussed earlier, which is first self-awareness, empathy, critical thinking, creative thinking, decision making, problem solving, effective communication, interpersonal relationship skill, understanding emotions, coping with stress. So these are the 10 life key skills which we are going to discuss on the today's session. So again, I would like to ask you all that how are you feeling today? So you can share about your status of your feeling right now? Okay, so many of us are feeling happy, very nice, excited. Few are sad also. Okay, okay. Few are not sure about their feelings, which is also okay. Okay. So most of us are happy now. Good to see. So let's move on to the very first life skill, which is about self-awareness. As I have already, I have asked you all about your feelings, and you all have already responded on this. Uh, we talked about how we are feeling right now. So we may feel happy, we may feel sad, we may feel excited, and maybe we are not even sure about our feelings. So these all components are associated with our awareness, which is related to self. So self awareness is a very key life skill, the first life skill which we are going to discuss. It means knowing or understanding about self, being aware about ourselves. Uh, so, understanding oneself includes recognition of self, our character, our perspectives, our personality, our strengths, weaknesses, our ideas, our desires, our skills, our abilities, dream, goals, and everything which is associated to ourselves is uh, the key life skill, which is known as self awareness. So why is it self awareness, and why self awareness is important for all of us in terms of personal and professional life? So when we are aware about ourselves in all the given perspectives, then it allows us to understand better about our status and about what we are going to do in future, what we are going to plan. As we all are professionals, some of us are working, some of us are enrolled in some academic courses. So as I know that the students are enrolled in data analysis courses, so they might be aware, they should be aware of their current status, why they are here, and what they are going to plan for the upcoming career. Okay, so next, the second key life skill, which is about empathy. So empathy might be a very similar term, which is like similar to sympathy. We all are aware about sympathy, but many of us are not aware about empathy. So what empathy is? Empathy is the ability to imagine what life is like for other person. Okay, so empathy is the ability to imagine the life in the perspective of others. It helps us, or it allows us to understand the status, mental and emotional status of the person who belongs to us. So the person might be our close ones, might be our friends, might be the people whom we are working or studying with. uh, why is it important to understand the perspective and feelings of others? So, as we were discussing, that empathy is a sense or the ability to get into the mind of others and see the world in their perspective. For example, mm, for example, uh, when you see someone in difficulty or being succeed, we may imagine the situation how one may feel when in a very common example, when we watch movies, we sometimes we start laughing, or sometimes we feel like crying for no reason, just to see the people crying in the movie. So we can imagine the situation where they are in and how they are feeling about the situation. So imagining the situation, we also start crying because we can empathize with with the people or with the person in the movie. Similarly, why empathy, understanding empathy is important. It is when you are into a situation, somebody should also understand that how you may feel in that particular situation. It helps us to support and coordinate with the people around us. Critical thinking. So, critical thinking is ability to think critically about anything. It might be about a situation. It might be about a particular person. It might be about a problem. So it is important to make effective decisions in our life. It might be a small decision or a big decision or academic decision or career related decision, anything. So it is important to have critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information and uh, experiences in an objective manner. So, okay, so what does it mean? It means when we have critical thinking, we can think critically about given situation. We analyze with the facts, figures, and with the evidences. We see the perspective of ourselves. We see the perspective of others as well, and the perspectives to we can basically understand. We can analyze the situation with the given perspectives, and we can take a healthy and meaningful decision. So critical thinking is a very important ability or skill that one may have. Okay, so next is a creative thinking. It is almost similar to the critical thinking as we discussed, because thinking critically means thinking creatively also. So creative thinking is also a very meaningful and powerful skill that one may have. Um, it is a novel way of seeing or doing things. It means thinking out of the box in a very simple manner. When we talk about something, when we talk we are talking about career decision, or when we are talking about having decision to enroll into some courses. So we might be creative, like we can imagine why we are here and why we are doing this particular course, why we are enrolled here, why what we are going to uh, do or become in future. So thinking creatively is also have some facts, some aspects as well. So it allows us to think beyond the box, or out of the box, generating new ideas. So it provides us fluency. That means we can be fluent, or we can have some unique different ideas. Flexibility, that means being adjustive or adaptive to the given situation. So sharing a perspective, lives. Okay, so, being flexible is a key skill that allows us to be flexible about a particular situation. With when life is, going in when we are given a very unhealthy or not, feasible or not positive environment, we can be creative or flexible to mold ourselves to the particular situation. Okay. So, originality is also a perspective of being creative while thinking. Be original while thinking. You should have your own ideas, your abilities. You should be creative while developing something. You can develop something new out of it. And elaboration. So elaboration, it is simply, it means like having a healthy conversation, having a healthy meaningful perspective that we develop with our existing knowledge or the knowledge that we are getting from outside. We can build some other ideas out of the existing knowledge that have been shared to us. So again, what makes you unique? So as I can see, most of us are responding to the option which is your individual skills. Few of us are also concerned about the nationality, which is also very fine. Okay, very nice. Okay, so rightly said, we are unique because of our abilities or our individuality, our individual skills or ability to think out of the box, or to be creative about solving a problem or making a healthy decision. And and also we are known for our skills, which might be unique, individual, or different from others. Thank you so much. So let's just move on to the next, which is decision making skill. Okay, so as we all know that in every phase of life we are, uh, we have to make some decision, whether we are a child, whether we are an adolescent, we are, family, uh, adults, like a family owner. In all phases we are making some decisions, so there might be small decisions, there might be big decisions, but that there might be very meaningful decisions. So decision making skill is also important for all of us, whether we are professional or also in our personal lives. So decision making skill is a very constructive skill to make a healthy decision out of the available situation, facts and figures that we have. And as I discussed during the creative thinking and critical thinking skills, so decision making is actually associated with these all skills. So because we are, as we think creative, we can be aware of making healthy and meaningful decision. It is most essential for making a career decision. Why is it mentioned here? Because in this phase where we all are, we need to have the sense of making healthy and meaningful decision, important decisions. Because being enrolled, getting enrolled to a course is not just the thing that we are going to we end up with, but having the sense of abilities that we are and how we are going to perform in the role where we all are, and making decision for our career goals, it is also important. So decision making skill is a very meaningful and very important skill that we all may have, being a professional and also in personal lives. So for an example, we all are adults, so we have choices in our life. So making choosing something meaningful, something really essential in our life is very important fact. So for example, being an adult, when we are supposed to get into our career oriented field, or getting into the married life, we make decision that how to choose the field, how to what to choose and why we are choosing it. So choosing a career field is more important for us, because then we can make our own identity, and then later on we can choose a partner for the marriage, so which is more feasible for any of us. Okay. So not just also considering that the life skills which we are discussing is somehow important for our adolescent girls also, because in girls and boys, sorry. Okay, so being adolescent, when a child is not able to understand about the decision, what they are going into a wrong field or phase. So the decision making skill is really important for them in that phase to be to have a successful life. Okay. So here we have another question: what made you to choose the stream where we are enrolled right now? Okay, so very nice. So most of us are aware that the skills that they may have is associated with the field. Okay, like the subject, which is also fine. Okay, so rightly said that once we are aware of our skills and abilities, we are actually more able to choose the stream that where we are enrolled, or where we are going to perform. So most of us are um have answered that they know about their skills that which are associated with the field or the stream where they are enrolled. Okay. So this is a very important fact that we should know about our interest and about our skills, and then we should choose a particular field that where we are going to be enrolled, and when we where we are going to perform. Okay. So now moving on to the next life skill, which is about problem solving. So problem solving is a we can say is a very important skill which is actually associated with all other life skills, because uh, solving a problem is a very big thing. We can say it's a big deal. We all are surrounded by certain problems. It might be small problem, big problem, career related problem, personal problem, or professional problems as well. So problem solving helps us to identify and deal constructively with a with the problem that one may have in our lives. So when we are talking about problem solving skill, we must be aware of the problem. So first step to identify the skill is to identify the problem. Once we are able to identify the actual problem that we are facing, whether in our personal or professional life, then it will be easier to identify the possible solution. Then we can list out the solution that one may have uh, for the uh, problem given problem, and then out of all the possible solution we may choose the best solution that may help us, and it may not affect others as well negatively. Okay, so for example, when we talk about a problem related to career choice, so we may list out the skills that we may have and the possibilities that why we should enroll to this particular course and why you should pursue this career option. Okay, so then we can move on to the all the possibilities that we may have and the best option out of it. So for suppose this is a like the COVID pandemic that we all are facing right now for 2 years, more than 2 years, and we have this a very unique problem that we all are facing with. And then identifying all the okay, so in the pandemic, the biggest challenge or the biggest problem that we all are facing here is uh, relate about the education of our children or young adults. So here we are able to identify all the possible solutions, which is to enroll into the online classes, to provide online courses, to be involved more in online platform to get our education and complete the courses. So, problem solving skill is the ability to think critically about the problem, being creative about the solution, and then we are able to solve a problem effectively. Okay, so next is interpersonal relationship. Uh, so as we human being are social animals, and we are, you know, we have several relationships associated with all of us. So relationship means being having relation with our parents, having relation with our siblings, friends, teachers, and other community members, like being, having relationship personally, professionally, and many ways. So it means to make and keep a friendly relationship, which can be of great importance to our mental and social well-being. So interpersonal relationship means having a healthy relationship between, you know uh, the people we are connected with. So whether it is our parents, to have a very healthy and friendly relationship with them, whether it is our teacher, our friends, or any other professional contacts that we may have. So having a healthy relationship or interpersonal relationship is really very important for our own mental and emotional health as well. And and it is also important for others also to have a good relationship with. It helps us to relate in positive ways to the people we interact with. So we interact with many people. Suppose we are interacting with a vendor, then also we might be very careful about talking to the people, because that the way of communication should not be aggressive, that should be taken care, and it should not be even suppressive, but effectively it should be communicated, or having said that relationship should be healthy. So many times we might feel that talking to parents we become aggressive, or while being in classroom we may feel suppressive. We are not very much open to share our ideas, not and not expressive to our thoughts. That is also not a healthy way of communicating or having interpersonal relationship with teachers. And to the parents as well, we should be careful. Okay, so effective communication is actually associated with the interpersonal relationship. As I mentioned, that life skills are actually associated to each other, and to have a healthy, effective communication, while like by having effective communication, we'll be able to have healthy relationship with the people we are surrounded with. Here it is very important. So communication skill is a very we can say very key skill to attract people, whether we are in personal life or we are in professional life. And it is also important to build a healthy relationship, as I mentioned earlier. So here it is the healthy way. Communication skill is a effective communication skill is a healthy way to communicate. That means being able to express our opinion, desires, and needs, fears, and also our thoughts. It also means to be expressive in a positive way, for asking or for advice, or asking question, or asking for help. So talking about our professional life, as we all know that there are several ways of communication, which is not only verbal communication but verbal, written, and non-verbal communication as well. So in all kinds of communication, on all types of communication, we need to be very careful about uh, how we are communicating to others. So whether it is about asking question to anyone, we should be very reflective, should be very assertive, but not being very aggressive or suppressive, or we are not able to express our feelings properly. So assertive communication have been considered as effective communication, and one should have the ability to communicate effectively when we are in professional life, especially when we are coming across a group of people. So understanding emotions, it is also a very important ability or skill, that one should be able to understand their own emotion, and hence they will be able to understand the emotional status of others. So we all have been experiencing different feelings and emotions in particular situations, in different particular situations. uh, there are positive and negative emotions. So definitely there are we are surrounded, yeah, we are we are having our feelings and emotions which might be negative and positive, depending on the situation one may have. Anger, okay. So happiness, as in the beginning of the session, we have posted a question related to our feelings, how we are feeling right now. So we know that when we feel happy, how it means, like being happy. So being happy means being having a positive emotion. Sadness means having negative emotion. So happiness, being surprised with something, or being excited, or being enthusiastic, it means we are having positive emotions. Sadness, anger, jealousy has been considered as negative emotions. Our feelings are wonderful, sorry. So our feelings are wonderful barometers of our well-being. So one's feeling and emotions are directly associated with the well-being, which is mental and emotional well-being. So when we feel happy, when we feel positive, when we feel excited, we are having healthy mindfulness, or healthy mental status. So when we are not caught up in negative thinking, our feelings, emotions remain positive. Okay. So there, as we mentioned, that there are negative emotions as well, which is sadness, being aggressive, or being jealous. So when we identify such emotions, we try to, suppress or control such emotions, so that our mental or emotional health is not being affected. Coping with stress. Okay, so stress is nowadays a very common issue that anyone may have. So we all are facing this, and more or less every day we are having some causes, some reasons that may cause stress to us. Stress is one of the very common issue. Unless we understand the cause, it's really hard to manage with it. So sometimes we often feel that we are not even aware of the stress, the reason behind the stress that we are having, or we feel stressful when we have something, some a big task to perform. We are stressful when we are not able to find the solution. We may feel stressful about a negative situation, or about a negative behavior as well. So we should be aware the causes or reasons behind the stress that we are facing, and then we need to identify the solution to manage or to cope up with the stress. So wrong beliefs like I'm not good enough or something is wrong with me cause up to 95% of illness and stress. So uh, it's a very common thing that being in professional life or even in personal life, we might have this feeling sometimes that I'm not good enough in something, I'm not capable of, or somebody is better than me, like I'm not able to do this task like him or her. So these all feelings or comparison may also cause stress, and it is, I think, it is the most common reason behind the stress that we all are having. And of course, we can't deny that COVID has even worse the situation, and it has caused a lot of stress to all of us. And definitely we are trying the solution to cope up with the situation and with the stress. But first we need to identify that reason behind our stress, and we should try not to let the situation uh, take away our positive feeling or our enthusiasm. So life skill framework. So here the life skills have been differentiated in three parts, particularly as we like discuss about life skills. It is associated to each other. So few life skills which are associated to our thinking skills or our thought processes, which are self awareness. When we talk about self awareness, we think of ourself, it is a thinking ability or thinking skill. We are more involved into thinking our skills, abilities, our own self, our problems, our skills, our strength or weaknesses. Similarly, problem solving, when we are up to solving a problem, then we think about the problem, we think about the possible solutions, and hence we are able to think of the possible solution. Critical and creative thinking. So being critical while thinking or being creative, it is also associated to our thought process, hence it is a thinking skill. And then having the sense of thinking ability, we might have some idea of making goal, making a decision for our career or a professional life, or any other decision that we make, or a goal that we are trying to achieve, whether it is having a car, having a vehicle, or having a anything. It might be anything. So uh, making a goal or taking a decision for upcoming life, we are here supposed to think and analyze the situation. So these skills are associated to our thought process, hence these are thinking skills. Social skills are associated to the people whom we are surrounded with, to the situations we are surrounded with. So socially, when we are involved socially, we require some skill which is interpersonal relationship skill, communication skill, because we have to communicate to people empathy. So sense of empathy is important to be social with the surrounding. So these three skills are the social skills which are associated with the uh, with our social life. Okay, so negotiation skill. Uh, the third category is the negotiation skill, which is associated with our emotional management or managing emotions, how we are able to cope up with the negative emotions, or how much we are able to understand or negotiate with the emotions that we may have. Then stress management, understanding the emotion, understanding the negative emotions, and then we are like understanding the cause of stress, then we plan, uh, or we get the sense of having stress management. This is also known as the negotiation skill, because here we negotiate with the upcoming emotions or arousing emotions or stress. uh, Here I have included one more skill, which is resisting the peer pressure or family pressure, which is associated to the uh, which may affect our performance or task or our emotions. So any kind of pressure that we are not liking and which are not positively not impacting our life, which is not supposed to be entertained. So we should know to resist such kind of pressures. So one may have pressure from the family of getting married when you are not actually ready to get married in that particular age or stage. You want to have, your to grow your professional life, and rather being, getting married. So also there might be peer pressure, because we all are young, and being young adults, we might have pressure from our peer group as well. And in peer pressure, we may, many times we get into wrong track, uh, whether it is having alcohol, drug, or having, some any bad habit. So if it is affecting us negatively, then we should be resisting this peer pressures as well. Okay, so here a very basic concept which I wanted you to introduce, and it is self concept is actually associated to all 10 life skills, and it's a very basic concept that one may have among themselves. So it is basically the psychological explanation of who am I. Okay, so it is a slightly different or extended version of self awareness, because being aware of ourselves, try to identify the thought processes or the concept about ourselves that one may have. So ideal self. So self concept have three components, major basic components, which are uh, ideal self means the person you want to be. We all might have some image of ourselves, which is ideal self, and we want to become like someone which is actually us. So we all many of us may want to become a data analyst, but not exactly everyone of us want to become. We When we see someone, we all may have ideals, okay, professional ideals, or uh, any person that we may, consider them as our ideal. So we want to become something which is different from ourselves. The person what we are right now, we want to become a different person. So that might be our ideal self. Self image, it is how you see yourself. It means how we see ourselves in our existing image. So self image is basically associated with attributes, characteristics, appearance, and anything which is associated to us. So it's a very important fact. Maybe we can discuss about this component in detail in later sessions, because it's a very vast theme to understand. So self image is actually sometimes many of us might have heard of uh, body shaming, or having image of positive self image or negative self image. So image, like how we see ourselves, or how we see ourselves in perspective of others. May someone may not like the abilities, may think that we are not capable of something, but we are actually different individuals, we are having unique skills. We may not able to identify our positive self, or we are conscious about something, self image, like uh, it is like if when we talk about the appearance that we may have, somebody is may not be happy with the height that he or she is having, or he may see it as a negative perspective, that we are that I'm short heighted, but somebody having short height may feel positive about the particular image that one may have. uh, Self esteem, how much you like, or you accept, or you value yourself. Okay, so these three components are actually associated to each other, and it creates a concept of self, of sense of understanding ourselves. So these three terms are actually very positive to understand. And when we talk about ideal self, means we need to identify our ideal, how we want to become, and how we want to grow. When we talk about self image, it means the to create an image, or to create an attribute having our characteristic, unique characteristic, or unique skill that we are having inside. Self esteem means uh, to have a positive self esteem, to create a positive self esteem, which may help us to uh, grow personally and professionally. And acceptance is a very important factor which is associated with self esteem, how much we are able to accept ourselves. It is very important. Okay, so here since we are running, I think we are running out of the time. Okay, so here I have kept few questions related to the session and related to the self concept, which is just to allow you to think of these questions, and then maybe you can reflect it to yourself, and if you want to reflect it verbally or in written, uh, to the point, to your point persons, you can reflect over the questions, and these questions will help you to identify your own self concept and your ability to be aware of yourself. So how do you want to be identify? It means what you want to be, be identified according like, it might be your professional identification, the identification associated to your hobby, associated to your family, or to anything. So here your identification that you would like to assign, uh, what is your strength. So here you can talk about your strength that you feel you have, and what makes you happy or motivated, the factors, the things, the person, people, anything, it can be the situation, anything that makes you feel happy or motivated, you can mention here. Anything which makes you upset or demotivated, so it also can be anything. you can mention about people, uh, situation, or anything. What is the biggest challenge that you find in between your goals? So you all might have some goals in your life. You have tried to identify your biggest goals. You may have small goals as well, so you can identify the goal that you are having, uh, and the challenges that you may identify being in between your goals. And then you have to assign possible solutions that you may have, and how will you overcome with the given challenges, the challenges which you have identified, and then the possible solutions out of it. What is the meaning of success for you? So it is also a very it's a very vast question actually, but you can answer it to yourself as per your understanding about your skills, abilities, your long term goal, and the way you are going to achieve it. So then the lastly, I just want you to think how you are going to implement these life skills in your own life, whether it is personal or professional life. Okay, so while we were discussing about life skills, I just wanted you to understand that life skills are not a subject, or some or some factors or some topics to understand, but are very key life skills which we are actually using in our day to day life. But we just need to understand it in a very constructive manner, and we need to see how we can use these skills in our own life, whether it is personal or professional life. And it was, since it was a very basic definition of the life skills, and a sense to make you aware of your own self, so that you can identify your skills and you can make a goal for your future plans, or upcoming career plans. So here are some references for your readings. I'll share the PPT. You can go through the links and read, and here you can also find videos to to understand the session in a better manner, to have a better understanding of life skills, and why it is important to have in our own day-to-day life. So thank you so much. This was all from my side for today's session.
Thank you so much, Nazia. We have a question from a student who
Yeah.
has asked a question like, being an introvert person, in what ways I can improve my interpersonal relationship at workplace? I mean, like this is very important, or very good question because
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a very relevant
yes,
question.
yes,
Okay, so it's okay to be introvert. First, the very first and very basic thing that we need to understand, that many of us are actually introvert in some of okay, in being introvert is not actually a problem that we have identified. It might be a nature, but you can definitely overcome with it in your personal or professional life as well. So first of all, you need to identify that the reasons behind why you're not being to express yourself, whether we may have fear of facing people, or we are not confident about the content that we are going to talk about, or we are what is the major or basic reason behind being introvert. So first of all, identify uh, the possible solutions out of it, how we can overcome with the given problems that one may have. So just trust yourself that you are introvert. It is not a problem that you are having. And then just identify the things that you can do to overcome this particular situation. You can make plans, you can practice it, you can practice talking to yourself in front of mirror many times. It works for people. And if you have fear of facing people, then you need to have some group conversation. You can also take supports, or have healthy discussion with your team members or friends as well. You can have a sense of what you say, uh, you like collaboratively you can identify the solution. So there is not a stick solution that I can give you to overcome with the situation, but you can identify. But and most importantly, you need to involve in discussions with the group, and try to take your initiative. Have confidence in yourself that whatever you're speaking, whatever you're going to talk, is perfectly fine. It is there is nothing wrong in it, and you can express. And the most importantly, one may believe that I can do it. It's not just a quote, but definitely you can do it. So believe and have self confidence, and try to identify the reasons why you are not able to express.
So I hope Rajeshwari, now this will help you in your workplace. If you are introvert, you can analyze the situation and you can work accordingly, as you are already identified yourself, which was one of the life skills.
Yes, that's very true.
Yes.
And first of all, believe that it's not a problem
Yeah.
being introvert.
Right. Right.
You might have some other ways to express as well, but you can definitely work on it.
Actually. So, any other students who want to ask anything, they are free to ask any question pertaining to the life skill.
Hi, Payal. We have one more question in the question and answers session.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Payal. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, one minute.
Yeah, we have one more question in the Q&A part.
1 second.
Yeah.
Let me check.
So can I read it if it's not a problem?
Yes, because I can't
Yeah.
see in the
Yeah.
chat box.
Okay.
Yes.
And the question is, ma'am, like how to avoid postponing work?
Okay. It's very interesting question, and I think we more or less we all are suffering from this, maybe in personal or professional life. So not only talking about the professional things, but definitely we should be time manage. We should learn how to manage our time. We can make the task. We can identify the tasks that we may have, and when it should be it is supposed to be completed. And just identify the most important things which are actually we can list out the most important things which are actually supposed to be done earlier. Then try to understand that it is uh, okay. Just fix your time to complete the particular task that we have supposed to. And also considering that it's not, it is about ourself, our own self. Nobody is going to tell you that this is the thing that you should be knowing to finish your things on the time. But should be you yourself should be aware of you know having not postponing task is actually important, whether we are in personally we are performing something, or professionally. Because professionally, so we have timelines also, and keeping timelines in mind, it reflects our dedication of the work towards the work. So be just dedicated to something which you have committed and try to complete it on the time. And self motivation is the biggest factor that may work for this situation, I think.
I can also add one point,
Yeah, please.
it's not pertaining to life skill, but yes, if there is like a work, what we can do is we just can make a to-do list for us,
Yeah,
and we can plan accordingly and allot our time as per the work which need to be finished on priority basis. So this will
yes.
very much help us to, like, effective, or we can say you can complete the work in timeline. So you can work on that.
That's completely
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
So do we have any more questions?
No, not now. We don't have any more questions in the chat box. I think we can end up the session.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm Vani Devarajan from Hope Foundation. And while we all were enjoying and taking lot of inputs for our life, I would like to thank our speaker, Ms. Nadia Parveen, who gave a vital time from a busy schedule to grace this meeting. A big thanks to you, ma'am. We really enjoyed learning a lot about life skills through the session.
Thank you so much. I think it was an opportunity for me also to be a part of the session. And how I see the session is it might be, more interactive in terms of being more meaningful. Because life skill discussion over life skill sessions is not only just a one way speaking, but involving in discussion might also help. And as I saw the participation of the students, I must appreciate it, and it was really helpful for me to understand that they are actually participating. But I also want to include along with the session that life skill is actually a very vast subject or vast thing to understand. It's not a what to say academic subject or some components that are going to help us uh, only having understood theoretically, but practically it should be implemented and should be having sense that yeah, we are learning life skill and how we are implementing it. Thank you so much.
Very true, very true, very true, ma'am. Whatever you said, like we really and we agree totally for that. Like, and especially thanking you on this moment, I would like to thank Experifund and Oak Foundation for arranging this opportunity to our students. And last but not the least, I want to give a big thanks to our student participants for adorning this meeting with their presence. And I remember saying, like, which goes like this: you can't always control the wind, but you can control your sails. Similarly, we can't control what is coming in our life in the future, but we can shape it with the important key values of life skills which you have shared to us, ma'am. So, like self-awareness, decision-making, problem-solving, coping with stress, and these are the very important things when they are having a shift in their career. So this will really help them. So that's what I personally feel, and I hope like all will agree that at present, like we all come across, we are in the pandemic time. We come across a lot of things in our life, and but like Miss Nadia has given us a very good choice, a very good advice of problem solutions to bring an end to our problems. That is a very takeaway for us, very much a good takeaway for us. And personally, like ma'am, like I got a lot of ideas and thoughts through this meeting. Hope the same with our attendees too. And a big thanks again to you, ma'am, and the panelists and the entire students. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me as well.
Thank you,
So
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you all. So can we end the meeting, right?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Payal. Thank you, Shalini. And thank you, students.